What is up, guys? Today we're looking at why when you're actually trying to climb, you need to be the one making plays, not the one waiting for stuff to happen. There is a pretty big difference between the two, and it's one of the easiest ways to just straight up increase your chances of winning, and more importantly, stand a better chance at carrying bad teammates. This is another video with the folks over at Pro Guides. You can find links to their guides and Genius chat feature down below, so definitely check that out. We're going to go over a nice little trick to help you do this better, but for now, the first thing is like, what do I even mean? Right? What does the difference actually look like? Most of you are probably not the reason you lose a game. You're probably not going to admit that even if it was, right? But you don't feed your ass off 24/7, but you also probably aren't going to be the reason you win either. I guess the easiest way to explain this would be, what's the difference between a Blitzcrank and a Janna? Janna is designed to sit back, counter any plays that are made and be defensive. Blitzcrank is the opposite, designed to go aggressive, make plays and get kills. So it's like end go in lane with the Blitz is get kills, Janna is keep the AD alive. There are advantages to both, right? But in general, getting kills and coming out ahead is a much better way to play the game because it's based on you doing something rather than relying on the enemy to do something and hoping they do it wrong. This is really what we're trying to do. Turn your attitude from sitting, farming, chilling out, maybe getting a kill if they cock it up, into actually taking it to them, being the reason you win games. Okay, think of it this way. Am I more likely to get a girl's number in a bar if I sit there and drink with my friends and wait for her to come to me, or if I get up and go start talking to her and ask for it? I mean, this is assuming I'm actually going to get it, which is another story completely, but the point still makes sense. That is one of the biggest things. The only 100% consistent thing in all of your games is you. So why rely on the 5 random players each time and how you hope they act when you can rely on the one thing that is the same every game that we can control? How this actually looks like in a game is like, you'll be the one to push towers and make them come to defend. You're the one to set up a Baron, deward it, and force them to face check you. You're the one roaming, you're ganking other lanes, and you're the one trading and creating fights, picks, advantages, whatever for you and your team. If we're going to make this even more simple, think of like a Vi. You'll be roaming around and using your ultimate to start fights instead of waiting for their team to fight you and then you use your ultimate. That is the difference. This is the same in a lot of different sports, honestly. Think of like football or soccer or ice hockey. What do you think will be better? Sitting in your own half and defending, waiting for the opposition to mess up a pass and take advantage, or sitting in their half, being aggressive and creating scoring opportunities yourself? Basically, do you want one breakaway from their mistake if they actually make one, or 10 shots on goal that you create? This makes a really big difference in a game of League because you're actually trying to win more at that point. You're not relying on your team as much to do it for you. Now, you can honestly win that way. You can play Janna, you can wait for a fight to break out, hope you can keep people alive, and that will be enough. That's fine. It works. People do climb that way. The thing is, that is not going to help you when you get bad teammates, when your team doesn't really do anything, and when everyone is just sitting back together. If you want to carry and climb faster, then you need to step up. People ask me all the time, what's the difference between diamond and lower ranked players? And well, this is one of the most noticeable things. They are way more aggressive, they rarely just sit back, and they are so much more proactive. They want to do things and carry themselves rather than sitting back and waiting for their team to maybe do it. It's funny because on my unranked to diamond account, people are way more passive, and I sometimes fall into that as well. Just think, okay, if they're going to let me farm, then so will I. It doesn't really make you lose, but it doesn't help you win either. In diamond, they do not let you do that. You are forced to make plays because if you don't, the enemy team will, and you're going to lose. Now, the trick that I always use, I have talked about before in a different video, but I'll go into it in more detail here. This is very simple but very effective. You're going to take a cooldown, an ability, a summoner spell, an item active, anything, and every time it's available, look at the minimap and try to use it or use it as a prompt. You're aiming to make it a habit to say, okay, what can I do right now with what I actually have available? Get that into your head, and I promise you that you're going to start to climb more. This attitude means that you're always going to be having a proactive impact in the game. You're going to be making more plays, and it's going to break that bad habit of just sitting back, farming, and waiting for something to happen. Let's be honest, most people will do that. Now, even if you actually can't do anything, it doesn't really matter. You can't always make a play, and that's fine, but at least you're thinking about it, and if there is a chance, then you're going to be in a position to take it rather than just letting it slip away. The easiest way to show you is a few examples. So top lane could be like a Malphite ultimate, something as simple as that, or even just a teleport on any champion. When it's up, you look for a place to use it. In the jungle, most champions have big ticket ultimates. Think of like a Gragas or a Sejuani or a Vi ultimate. When your ult is up, you go to a lane and you just try and use it as soon as possible. Mid lane is very similar. They tend to rely on their ultimates for a lot of their damage. So when your ult is up, like as a Fizz or a LeBlanc, go to another lane and roam, or try to kill your opponent with it. For AD carry, it's a bit different, but look for a fight, roam, or call your team down when you have your arrow as Ashe or a Sivir ultimate. As Lucian or someone who has a Ghost Blade, when it's off cooldown, see if you can fight then, or it can be as simple as just your heal. If it's off cooldown, then try and pick a fight because you have that heal as a backup. Support is a really good example of how it doesn't have to be the biggest thing ever. It could be as small as when you have your Frost Queens active on Zyra. You can go more aggressive because you can slow into an easy route and fight them. You can see that these things don't have to be huge. They don't have to instantly lead into something either, but it's a mental reminder to actually look and see if you can use it. Now, it doesn't work for every champion ultimate or every item. You can't just see your Hydra active is up and use that as an excuse, but for bigger cooldowns, even like a flash, it can work. Think, okay, I have my flash now. If I make a play and it doesn't work, at least I can flash away. Or if I get ganked, I can flash away now so I can play a bit more aggressive in lane. The reason this entire concept is so effective is because you'll be consistently doing so much more in a game and flat out increasing your chance to win it. League can be so different game to game, right? There are so many different champions, different things can happen in your lane, other lanes, but this one thing will give you a relatively reliable way of doing something regardless. Like Rengar is always going to have his ultimate. There is always going to be someone on their own to use it on, so by looking at the map every time it's up and seeing if there is a chance to use it, you'll be doing more in all of your games. If you're getting fed up with dealing with bad teammates and not being able to do enough to actually carry them, then this is the way I try to put them on my back and win the game anyway. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you to Pro Guides for editing this together for me. Remember to check them out down below. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. But for now, let's go to the robots.